The true story of Job. God was not bargaining with Satan. God was revealing the battle inside man. Religion taught. God and Satan held a meeting, and God allowed Satan to torment Job to test him. That version makes God look like a negotiator with Satan, someone who gambles with human lives, someone who allows suffering just to prove a point. But that is false, and the Bible itself tells you it's false when you read it through spirit. Let's decode it. Job is a parable about the inner battle of consciousness, not a historical courtroom between God and Satan. Just like Adam and Eve, spirit plus soul. Noah's Ark, inner protection. Sodom, inner corruption. Jacob wrestling the angel, inner struggle. Jonah, ego resisting purpose. Job is symbolic. The story takes place in the soul realm, not a physical conversation in heaven. Satan in the book of Job is not a fallen angel talking to God. The Hebrew word there is ha-satan, the accuser, the adversary, the opposing thought. In modern terms, the ego, the inner resistance, the voice of accusation. Job's story is your story. The moment when everything you trust collapses and you must discover who God truly is inside you. The conversation between God and Satan happens in Job's consciousness. It is the inner dialogue every human faces, the voice of fear, the voice of accusation, the voice of doubt, the voice that tells you God is angry, the voice that tells you you are unworthy. This is why Satan's only weapon in Job is words. He cannot act until Job's consciousness agrees. This is deep. Job chapter 3 says, "What I feared has come upon me." Job attracted what he believed. God did not send it. Ego did not create it. Job's fear manifested it. Just like Adam, Job slipped into spiritual sleep. Job's suffering was never God's doing. It was Job's perception. God never harmed Job. God never authorized harm. God never agreed to harm. The proof? At the end, God rebukes Job and Job's friends for misrepresenting him. God says, "You have not spoken of me what is right." Job chapter 42 verse 7. Meaning, everything you assumed about me was wrong. If the entire story was God agreeing to torment Job, why would God say they described him wrong? Because they did. Job's restoration reveals God's true nature. Not the beginning of the story, the end reveals God. What happened? Job awakened. Job saw God clearly. Job's consciousness shifted. Job broke free from ego-driven fear. Job remembered who he was. Job was restored double. Why double? Because awakening always multiplies. Because revelation restores everything fear stole. Because God's nature is multiplication, not destruction. Restoration is the true message, not testing, not torment. Job's fear of God was the problem, not the solution. Job constantly said, "I fear God. I dread him. He may strike me." Job chapter 3, Job chapter 9. Job loved God, but was terrified of him. That fear opened the door to suffering. This is why the Bible later says, "Perfect love casts out fear." 1 John chapter 4, verse 18. Because fear produces torment. Job wasn't tormented by God. He was tormented by his fear of God. A fear produced by misunderstanding God's nature. Just like religion today. When God appeared, he did not justify suffering. He corrected Job's perception. God did not say, "I sent this. I approved this. This was a test. This was Satan's right." Instead, God said, "Who is this that darkens counsel with words without knowledge?" Job chapter 38, verse 2. Meaning, Job, your belief about me was wrong. God then reveals his closeness, his sovereignty, his love, his presence, his nearness in all things. And Job says, "I had heard of you, but now my eyes see you." Job chapter 42, verse 5. I had heard of you equals religion. My eyes see you equals revelation. Job moved from second-hand religion to first-hand revelation. That is the story. God never lowered himself to torment a man. That never happened. The book of Job shows God's faithfulness, God's presence, God's restoration, God's love, God's nearness, God's protection, God's refusal to abandon humanity. The only thing God destroyed was Job's false belief about him. God does not test you. Life tests you. Ego tests you. Fear tests you. Your own perception tests you. But God restores. Always. And that is the real gospel.